Found my voice, most of it anyway. Yeah, took your guys' advice yesterday. Yeah. Seems to have helped. Yeah. Good morning, guys. Good to see you. This little ball I throw around in here. Yeah. What I'm doing is just looking around. Oh, here, U.S. Secretary of Energy says more BS. Good morning, William from Central Florida. Good morning, cool shots. Good to see you guys. Good morning there, Dagger Spell. Ocala. Good morning, Martin. Good day, Laura Lou. Thanks for joining me, guys. Good morning, UK. Be blessed. Hey, what's up, Dave? David from Aurora, Colorado. This is just super casual live this morning. Hey, everybody, what's up? I'm just looking at random stuff like you guys do. Kind of start the day off like that myself. I check the Dropbox. I check the email, which I've already done. Received some interesting videos and photos today. Now I'm just kind of browsing around flight radar. You can learn a lot, depends on what you're looking for, um, by looking at flight radar, see what the situation is over in the uh, Eastern Hemisphere. I don't know if you guys can see that behind me. That's the damn thing Oh my goodness, this thing is wanting to turn on its own. Why is it doing that? Have a great day, Dave. There we go. Have to turn that feature off. This thing will turn by still turning by itself. What is up here, buddy? See that back there? 821. Look at that. 821, 825, 829. That's gas over in California. What? Yeah, everybody sees the gas prices going up. We talked about that yesterday. But what I wanted to talk about that is the oil and gas that the oil that was used to make this gas occurred months ago. So there's really no reason for for the price to jump like it did. No, other than just to scam the people. That's all. Is one scam after another. That's all we get these days. It's just scam, scam, scam. Everything's just one big scam. It's sad. We have devolved into some really interesting creatures. Yeah, just scam and then scam and then scam. Yeah, it's the truth, man. No reason for gas to jump a buck 15 in a week. That gas was made months ago. And besides, we don't even get gas from oil, not gas. We don't get oil from Iran. So just another scam. Yeah, isn't that great? We live in a world of scammers. I'm not venting, I'm just telling the truth. There's TikTok channels that do nothing but expose scammers, and they have infinite material. Hmm. Yeah. No, it's interesting. You can look at the airplanes over here, see who's involved. Like I just saw an airplane here right there, Kuwait Air Force. So Kuwait is basically, from what I'm seeing here, is involved. Uh, the UK is involved. I've seen a lot of planes, and you guys from the UK can probably verify that. UK is involved. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Hey, Greg. Not a scam with the gasoline, but to conserve our gas to put enough back to prevent shortages. We have 30-year reserves. 30-year reserves. Here's one right there, 821, 825, 829 in California. If that ain't gouging, I don't know what is. That is nuts. Who would pay that? If people try to scam me all the time. I had a guy try to scam me this morning. You just expect it every day now. It's not something that is a once in a while thing. You expect it every day. A lot of drones over here flying around. I've seen, where's a drone right here from Turkey? I've seen drones from the UK. Yeah, big drones from the UK. Here, I'll show you guys what I do. Yeah, you're right there, Martin. One does it, they all do it. Why wouldn't they, you know? I guess if they can get away with it, we are involved and have some reserve. Yeah, Dave, I've been seeing that over here, buddy. I'll show you what I'm working on. It's flight radar. I'm over here and just kind of browse around. Um, I saw an airplane. Where's that now? I saw drones yesterday right over here along the Mediterranean. They were UK drones. Yeah, right through here. There was like two. And this is obviously a no-fly zone for obvious reasons. I just saw see if I can find it again. Obviously, this is very busy. It's like this every day, though. This isn't anything new. It's very busy every day. There it is, Kuwait Air Force. That's the first Kuwaiti plane I've seen up in the air. NAs, a lot of NAs. Those are like private jets. I'm doing, there you go. This Royal Air Force right there. That's out of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom Royal Air Force. That's a big old Globemaster 3 come out of Cyprus. They're using this airport here in Cyprus as a landing place. I've seen multiple planes land there. In fact, I saw a Russian plane land there. Yeah, a Russian plane landed there 2 days, 3 days ago. Yeah, a Russian airplane. And the Russian airplane, it was an Antonov, which those are Russian aircraft, and it departed from the UK. Good morning there, Julie. Good to see you. Be blessing. Message retracted. Good morning, Oklahoma. What's up, Cajun? Did you guys have any hail in Oklahoma? I saw some unbelievable hail videos this morning out of, let's see, what did I see? I haven't seen any out of Oklahoma. I saw, oh, two out of Kankakee. Good morning, Carlos. I do, Bendy. I'm always working on something. I've got some things this morning I'm working on. Um, you guys are gonna get a kick out of today's live stream. It's funny. There's a component of it that's actually kind of cool. I don't know where this one's from. Oh, Beirut. See, oh, there's a lot of countries over here getting involved. This is a Beirut military aircraft up in the air, just took off. Airbus 400 Atlas. Small hail in Kansas. Good morning there, neighbor. Anunnaki Kids Disclosure Channel from Mesa. Yeah, Dave, I got I'll give you a little hint. It involves a non-human, an animal, I guess, that was looking at one of my video. You'll see it. It's actually kind of cute. How the person filmed this. I guess it's their pet. I don't know. Tapping the screen as I'm doing a Google Earth presentation on a video. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I thought it was. I'll share it in today's video. Got three examples, different examples, to share with you guys. Yeah, sure do. Today's Thursday, Friday Eve. A lot of private planes flying around over there. $8 gas. Not down here in southeast Oklahoma, up north, Texas border. Thank you. Durant. I know where that's at. Yeah, $8 gas right there. You know, do you guys know anybody? Thank you, Dave. That's very kind. Um, I know you guys over in the UK. Well, you may. Do you guys know anybody that lives in California? Got Italy Air Force now up in the air. Well, the reason I ask is because, hey, Deb, upstate New York. No, the reason I ask is because it is incredibly expensive with regard to everything in California, just in general. Everything is expensive. I just wonder why. Why is everything so expensive in California? I will say this, you guys know I live in Arizona. About, I'm just keeping it real. About 6 years ago, um, Arizona's always been some in Cali, cool shot. Arizona has always been, I would say, affordable with regard to everything across the board back in about 6 years ago. Food prices, gas, uh, just basic resources, housing, rent, everything was pretty cool. Everything was what you would consider normal. Then, starting about 5, 6 years ago, there was this huge invasion of people migrating to Arizona, moving to Arizona from California. And you would run across people that say, yeah, we just moved here from California, sold our house over there, and bought a house here and had money left over. I'm like, wow, good for you. Because they sold a smaller house in California and bought a much bigger house over here in Arizona for half the price. And I noticed that back in 2019. I went over there to do some work for Ancient Aliens. And the house that we filmed in, it was actually an Airbnb. And we filmed that day out of this Airbnb. And it was a small home in California. Uh, Honestly, it wasn't that big, maybe 1,200, 1,400 square feet, $1.6 million. I'm like, holy cow. Well, I guess the moral of the story is I noticed after that those high prices migrated over here to Arizona. Now everything over here, for the most part, kind of mimics California. You know, everything's expensive, and it didn't used to be that way. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It makes it hard on everybody. I don't care if you're wealthy or not. If you're wealthy, you have bigger bills. All averages out, man. It's just part of the world we live in. Yeah, gas, right there, California gas, 8.21 a gallon. Our gas went up 50 cents in 1 week. We are opening a new refinery in Sacramento, and that's the first new one in 50 years. Okay, cool. It's going to take a while to come down, but it will. You're right. Deb, that's probably very true. I remember back in '08 when the gas and diesel prices went up basically overnight. I remember pulling out of our subdivision to go down to the grocery store. And I pulled out on the main road and down about a block. There's a gas station still there. We don't live at that house anymore, but you couldn't help but see the gas sign that was right out there by the road. And I looked as I was driving down the road. I looked and I looked again. The price went up almost $1 overnight. The one that got me the most though was the diesel. The diesel was 5.45 a gallon, and that was in '08. And yes, you're right, it did come down, but it took like 2 years. But in the meantime, those expensive diesel prices that truck drivers were having to fill up their tanks, it's costing them $1,000 to fill up their tanks, if not more. Well, that cost was being passed on to ultimately the consumer. And sure enough, everything at the grocery store started going up um, because shipping went through. Good morning there, Katana. In the '70s, we had the energy crisis and was rationing it. Yep. I don't remember the '70s energy crisis, at least not where I live. I was pretty young back then. Ugh. But hey, it's just a observation. It's just a talking point, and these things affect pretty much everybody. You know, these things, gas prices, food prices. We all need resources. We all need food. And when food gets expensive, very expensive, just basic resources, um, makes it hard, just to exist. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not president. That wouldn't be okay. I'm all about being successful and things like that. But don't take advantage of people. No, don't do that. That's not okay. Sorry, not okay. Yeah, well, you're right, Deb. Trinidad's natural gas and Guyana's oil. And not only that, didn't we just get a bunch of oil from Venezuela? Or did I miss something here? Didn't we just get a bunch of oil from Venezuela? At least we were told that. Was that a lie? What, we were lied to? Oh, no, surely not. No way. We got lied to? Yeah, we should have an abundance of oil, right? Didn't we just get a whole shipment of oil from Venezuela? Wow. I knew there was there's oil rigs over in California. Yeah, I've seen them, just saw them. Yeah. I know, right? Katana. Yeah. Yeah, but think about it. We just got a bunch of oil from Venezuela, so what's up? Prices should have went down. No, of course not. They went up. Got Romania in the air now. Are you serious? Yeah, you're right, Deb. Carbon taxes and they're taxing people now by the mile over there, and maybe that's the carbon tax. I heard they're taxing people by the mile now that have electric vehicles. Got some wild hair today, don't I? Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, taxing people that have electric vehicles. Mm, I don't think I'd want to live in California. No, that's not cool. I see that, Linda. You do have some weather moving your way. You sure do. Here's my handy dandy radar. Put it over there. Oh yeah. Right now, there's a tornado watch in South Carolina and Georgia. Yes. Let's take a look. See, you want to? Here we go. This is what's up. Live radar. South Carolina, Georgia, the red tornado warning if you're in that area. The dark red tornado watch. Yellow, thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm warning. So Augusta, Orangeburg, Columbia, those would be in South Carolina. Augusta's in Georgia. And there's the line of storms. And yes, there's going to be some move up into Maryland today. Looks like there's a tornado warning. Let's go in a little closer. There you go, right in here. Alarm. Sorry about that. There you go. There's your tornado warning. This area right here. Alarm tornado warning just south of Bamberg, north of Earhart. Tornado warning, guys. That means a tornado vortex has been spotted either on the ground or rotation has been spotted in the air. But that means action has been spotted. This area here, the dark red, means action is possible. So it is continuing from, well, yesterday, day before. There's a high wind report. See what they're saying. These are submitted by people from the public. 312 emergency manager. Trees reported down at Bettis Academy. High winds. It doesn't say how high, but that's in Georgia, north of Augusta, right in here. So those reports are just now starting to come in, but people will send those reports in, and then we can kind of get an idea of what's going on locally. Oh, you see it? Oh my God, you see it right there? There you go. Look. Watch right here. You see the rotation. I got it a little too close. Shit, I just saw it. Oh yeah, right there. There it is, baby. Right there. That's a tornado, guys. You're seeing it right now. Right there. That is indeed a tornado. Whoa, there's your rotation. See it right here. There's your rotation. Son of a gun. All right, let's go to the dual screen. No, not that. This one. Okay, we want the, yeah, that's the one we want right there. Perfect. Woo, we got a tornado, guys. Good Lord. Oh my God. Okay, if you're in Bamberg, you definitely want to take shelter. Dang. This is what I use to track storms. This is my own personal one. And I don't get this off of some secondary app. I actually pay for this one. Yeah, tornadic activity in South Carolina at the moment. And then the orange here represents a special marine warning. That's because of high winds. That's what creates that. That creates rough seas. So they issue small craft warnings. That's what the orange is right there. So yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong today already. Gee, Chris, could be could be a long day. Yeah, I saw videos this morning of giant hail landing in Kankakee, Illinois, which is south of Chicago. Yep. Exactly, Dave. I don't understand. And from what I've been told, and of course it could be another lie, I don't know. Don't we have like 30 years worth of reserves? I'm talking about here in just the United States. Yeah, vertical lines. I don't know. It just looks like to me it's just an excuse for company A, company B, whatever, to get record profits. Yeah, that's just the way I kind of see things now. And those of you that have been around a while and you've seen these type of events come and go, it's just people, everything gets more expensive. It's not like, okay, when these events happen, things all of a sudden get more inexpensive. It's never the case. Everything gets more expensive. And it doesn't seem to help the middle class. It always helps somebody else. So go figure. So after you've seen that a few times, you know it's a scam and you call it like it is. You ain't gonna sugarcoat it anymore. Just another scam. Sad. Wonder if our gas contains the same amount of sulfur as from OPEC. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. There's better ways to get energy. We could do better. I totally agree. Absolutely. Heard last night, countries using reserves. We have 3 years worth. No, it's 3 years. Yeah, I know we have a lot of reserves. Yeah. But maybe if we raise the prices, how does that help or hurt anybody? Raise the prices. For what? You know what I mean? For what? Why are we raising the prices? Because they can. It's like during a hurricane, um, prices of just water, bottled water will go up. Why? Because they can. Prices of generators will go up because they can. They never go down, it's always in the other direction because it's benefiting somebody and usually not the person that needs it, but whatever. Get your greed on. 42-mile-an-hour winds in southern Georgia. Looking at wind gusts in northern Florida, 42 miles an hour. What are they reporting here? Southern Georgia. They don't say. Just high winds. Um, Here's another. Starting to get wind reports now from folks in Georgia. 48-mile-an-hour winds. As long as there's no damage, who cares? That's definite rotation. Dang, man, that's a big time rotation. Holy cow. No, for real. That is in South Central South Carolina. That is as crystal clear of rotations I think I've ever seen on here. You got to see it. It's right there. That's the rotation right there. Yeah, it sure enough is. There is some sort of event happening right there. Yeah, you don't need to be a genius to understand what's going on there. You can see the rotation. That's an easy pickings right there. Hopefully everybody's okay. Yeah. It's also a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. Obviously so. What are they saying about that? And all these alerts come from the National Weather Service, the local, until 10:45, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Actually 60, plus the tornado they're dealing with right now, possibly. Um, you know what? Anunnaki Disclosure Channel, you're right. You're exactly right. Because of the weakening dollar. You're exactly right. Yes, you are. Yes, you're correct. Hmm. Could be there, Greg. Uh, could be. You're right, Dad. Oh, I wanted to show you something. This was a shocker, and I don't have anything to do with the stock market, but I take a peek at it every once in a while because it's an indication of what's going on around the world. Um, but yeah, check this out. This happened a couple of days ago. See that number right there by the N225? The N225 is the Nikkei. That's the Japan stock market. Look at the downside in one day, 3,676. That means nothing to me personally, I guess. I guess it could affect us in some way, shape, or form that we may not know or understand because I don't understand the stock market. I'm not in the stock market. But when you see a major shift like that in anything, I don't care what it is, it can be stock market, it can be the major shift in the CAPE index over here monitoring weather, which there was a couple of days ago. There was a huge shift. And everything's numbers, guys, by the way, just so you know, everything, I don't care what it is, everything is numbers. That number, just like the CAPE number, CAPE is the available energy in the atmosphere, was up near 5,000. 5,000 is the highest it'll go. And yes, there were tornadoes, there were high winds, there was large hail. That number there tells a story. The stock market in Japan dropped 3,600 points in one day. It's never done that. Never done that. So that creates a domino effect around the globe, and it can affect all of us eventually somehow. I don't know how, because I don't understand all that, but I do watch it. Yeah, I just check in. Man, that is a major twister. It looks like south of Cordova. I have never seen such defined rotation because sometimes the TBSs, they're called TBS, tornadic vortex signature. You don't see them this obvious on the radar. Sometimes they're a little tough to see. Not that one. It's very obvious. Hopefully everybody's okay. Hey Pete, good morning. Um, I'm sorry guys, I'm rambling on here. Thank you, Dan. Hey, what's up, Alaska's guys? Good morning, guys. Good morning there, Pete. Thank you. Have an awesome day, buddy. I appreciate that. We're just talking about whatever right now. I'm working, getting some things ready for this afternoon's show. Seem to have found most of my voice yesterday. It was kind of gone. It came back. I got a decent night's sleep last night, so that helps. Yeah, when you don't get sleep, you kind of feel out of sorts anyway. So, yeah, got a decent night's sleep. So, wow. But no, back to that 3,600 point drop. That's just it tells the story, guys. When you look around and like looking at flight radar, you look at the various things going on over there, they tell a story. You look at the that number I just showed you, it tells a story of something going on. You look at the CAPE index, it tells a story of something that could go on. And when that CAPE index gets high like that, that usually means there's going to be very severe weather, and there was. So, in fact, I think I still have it in my folder. Um, it's like the Schumann resonance is cranking again. Those are numbers. Those numbers are telling us a story. Here's the cape from yesterday or day before yesterday. This is what I was talking about. I was just using this as a just a quick reference. There's the cape. This boundary line right here. That's the cape index. I don't have the numbers on here, but um, those numbers were in the 4,000 and 5,000 range right there along that boundary. And you guys know that we're along this boundary. Kankakee right up here. That's where the giant hail was at. See the dark burgundy? That is a very high cape. Dark burgundy down in Texas and in Oklahoma, very high cape. So that usually this was an indication. This is available energy in the atmosphere for storms, and it did happen. That's why I say those are more numbers. Everything is numbers. Everything from your age to your weight, your height, everything. Everything's numbers, man. It doesn't matter. Everything is numbers. Gas prices, numbers. Everything's numbers. So that's the Cape Index. So if you watch that Cape Index and keep an eye on it, let's check it today. Let's see what the Cape is right now. We'll take a look and see. There it is. Right now, the Cape Index isn't too bad at all, but there's a little bit of activity right where the storm's at in South Carolina, right there. But that's actually pretty low for a Cape Index. But let's see what's going to be this afternoon. This is the potential available energy. Looks like it's going to clear out, guys, this afternoon for the most part, at least with regard to Cape and available energy. Let's look at wind shear. Holy moly, that's a big difference right there. Ay, ay, ay. Is that lift? No, we need the lifted index, not wind shear. Ah, yeah, so that's showing us too. Yeah, the lifted index is what creates rotation. There's the lifted index right there. You can see the action is in South Carolina, moving into North Carolina. So big heads up if you're in North Carolina. That lifted index can create convection. Everything tells a story. Yeah, but that was a wild shift over in the Japan stock market. 3,676 in one day. If it would have been 5,100, that would have been 10%. That's shocking. But again, I don't partake in that. Hey, what's up, Willie Wayne? 90-degree temps next week in Cali. You know what? It's going to get hot out west in general. Arizona, Utah, Nevada, obviously California. It's going to be hot. I think it's going to be a hot summer. Um, about 10 days ago, we had a day that was 17 degrees above normal here in Arizona. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I got a decent night's sleep last night. Yeah, the Schumann is normally 7.83 diff. It's been bouncing up into the 50 and 80 range. You are correct. Minus 12 in Alaska. Wooski. Thanks. And Dave, that's probably why you're not sleeping, buddy. I slept pretty good last night. But you know what? I had no choice. I was so tired. I had to get some sleep. I think my body was fighting. I had to. I couldn't. My body was like, nope. Hey, the Schumann's up. I had to get some sleep. And it is up. Yes, it is. Here, I'll show you. I want to take a look. See, here you go. Look at this unit. How about that? That's right now, today. So, Dave, there's probably why you didn't sleep, buddy. Yeah, that's Schumann. Yo. And we got a big coronal hole facing the Earth. So we'll probably see some geomagnetic storm activity here in the next day. I would say maybe today. Yeah, absolutely. Because this has been facing the Earth now for 2 days. So 2 days is usually the ETA, the magic number, especially for high speed solar wind. Mhm. Can usually handle the journey in a couple days. Here's the big coronal hole that is facing the Earth, and it's getting bigger. It's growing right there. That's an equatorial region right there is what comes towards us. I've seen those spark big geomagnetic storms. Not all of them do. Some of them do. Yeah. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. Oh, I just saw it. I've already got this one done. Ah, hmm. Something showed up on a Canada radar southwest of Ottawa. This observation was sent in by a gentleman by the name of Jonathan, who noticed this yesterday. Got to save that one for the live stream, guys. That is bizarre. Yes, at times I feel the ground rumbling and shifting. Gotcha, Anunnaki disclosure. I know, I feel you, man. Does anyone else feel like the ground is moving beneath their feet? Hi, Kitana. I'm going to be honest. I can't say that I have. I have in the past, but not recently. You and your partner just slept for 48 hours? Wow. Thank you, Willow Willow 2023. Yes, I noticed that Anunnaki Disclosure Channel. Yes, it was in the 90s, and we were like 17, 19 degrees above normal during that time. That's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah. You live near Superstition Mountain, and I researched that it's actually a stratovolcano. Hmm, that's cool. Dave, it's a big opening in the sun's atmosphere. Believe it or not, the sun has a layer, many layers of atmosphere, just like the Earth. And sometimes there's for lack of a better word, a gash, a big opening that opens up, and it allows solar wind to come off of the surface of the sun, basically unfiltered, just random solar wind that the Earth deals with on a day-to-day basis is filtered through the sun's atmosphere layers. That energy is not. It's a little stronger, it has more density, and it can spark geomagnetic storms. That's a little faster too. So In fact, a lot faster. That's all. Not anything nefarious, just an observation. Been observing that for a long time. Oh, we got another wind report. Here we go. Okay, Georgia, the reports are coming in. Trees reported down on Beaver Dam Creek, Newberry, South Carolina. So the action's starting to pick up, guys. Let's look and see if we've got power outages. I'm sure we do. Oh, wow. We definitely do. Are you serious? Oh, my God. What's going on? There's something going on in Washington. Check it out. Here you go. Washington, are you serious right now? 64,000 customers off the grid in Washington. Idaho, nearly 40,000. Look at all this here. Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and I'm sure South Carolina is going to be in that mix real soon. So we have a major situation brewing right now. This is more power outages right here than we've had with regard to states combined during the last debacle we saw with the storm. That's a lot. And this is just getting started. In fact, did a report on it yesterday. Hmm. Yeah, I did. Yep. Over on Facebook. You're welcome, Dave. You're welcome, Owl Hippie 78. Superstitions. Right on. Superstitions. I think it's a superstitions. There's an old legend that says that talks about the Flying Dutchman's gold buried up in the Superstition Mountains somewhere. And I think today's value would be somewhere in the 200 million range. Oh, I don't know. It could be just a myth, but it's supposedly up in that mountain somewhere or on that mountain somewhere. Yep. Hmm. If I had to guess, they had a decent sized tornado in South Carolina. Yo, guys, this is no joke. Hold on. Wow. I'm recording this. Hold on. Let me get a screen grab of this. That's serious. Oh my God. You don't normally see them this obvious on here. I've seen them like this one time, this obvious, and this was in Mississippi a couple of years ago. And there were two major tornadoes that went through Mississippi. You want to see it? Right, here you go. You're seeing it in real time. Uh, you don't need to be a meteorologist to see those hook signatures. See them? You don't normally see them that defined on radar. Are you kidding me? Right there and there. There could be three tornadoes on the ground there. For real. Whoa. I've seen that one other time, and that was in Mississippi, and there was a dual tornado situation like that that went through Mississippi. One was a category or an EF4, like an EF4 and an EF3. Holy, holy. You're right, Anunnaki. I can see the Superstition Mountains, you bet. I saw that Willow. There's been several tropical cyclones around Australia this year. Yeah, there's been a few hanging out over by Madagascar. The Flying Dutchman shows up in several legends. I know, right? Right, right. They say that there's like in today's world, $200 million worth of gold up there somewhere. My son's like, "Hey, Dad, let's go look for the gold." And I'm like, I guess we can, but I wouldn't even know where to start. Yeah, I can see the Superstition Mountains. Yeah, absolutely. Oak Island. Yeah, Oak Island. I know the producers, part of the crew anyway, that film Oak Island. Yeah, good group of people. Absolutely. What's up, Mick Franco one? Good to see you. Good morning. We're just talking about stuff, random stuff, um, things that affect us. Tornadoes possibly going through South Carolina right now. Wow, that is an incredible, very obvious hook signature. There's rotation in there. My God, there's two. Like I said, I saw that 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe. Went through central Mississippi like that. Crazy. And like I said, they're normally not that obvious. Classic rotation. Oh, absolutely. There's tornadoes there. Like more than one. Gotta get my back stretched out. It's tight this morning. Oh, what everybody have for breakfast? Oh, that's interesting, Anunnaki. Ah, so you went up there, huh? Cool. Los Angeles Harbor UAP pics and video. Thank you, Pete. Where's that video at, buddy? Oh, just coffee for breakfast? We used to have an inversion machine that where you would hang upside down to stretch your back. Yeah. You know what I do? I stand right over there and I just gotta do the basic side to side to side and the side to side to side and bend down, touch. I do those every day. I need to do them right now. Oh, coffee in your channel. Thank you, Alaska Skies. I first had coffee, and then I had a piece of pumpkin pie, just a small piece. Pumpkin pie today. Now, that's not going to last me very long because it was small. But I'll have something here later. What I try to do, I'm kind of semi-fasting right now. Not fasting per se, intermittent fasting. I just don't gorge. Sometimes we get caught up and we'll eat a huge breakfast, a huge lunch, and a huge dinner, and it's just too overwhelming. So I rotate it each day. Sometimes I'll eat a little bigger breakfast, have a banana for lunch, something for dinner. Sometimes I'll have a banana for breakfast or a piece of pie like today, eat a moderate lunch, moderate dinner. You know, I definitely won't eat past 5:30. You don't want to go to bed with food on your stomach. No, don't do that. You want to go to bed with a little swig of water on your stomach. At least this is, I think this is what I do. A little bit of water, and then the first thing you should put on your stomach when you get up is a little bit of water. And then get into your coffee and whatever it is you like to do. Yeah. Had a burger and iced coffee. Nice, nice. Just coffee. Cool, cool. Willow Willow cut down to one meal a day. All right, all right. Nothing wrong with that, man. If that works for you, that's great. When I do the intermittent fasting, which I do it once a year, and then sometimes I'll do it moderately throughout the year, here and there, but I usually do it for 30 days after the first of each year, after you get through the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, all that. Because if you don't, that can, next thing you know, you're putting on extra weight. So, because intermittent fasting, don't eat past 2:30. What's up, hybrid NLJ? Midnight snack corn chips. All right. Water first thing in the morning. Scott will kickstart your metal. That's what I do every morning. Just a little swig to kind of get things rolling. What's up, Nelson? Oh, hi, Nelson. Good to see you. No, it's not easy, Willow, but you know what? You'll stay, you won't be putting on a bunch of extra weight. That's not, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to overwhelm your body with food because it can't process it all properly anyway. No, no. So don't do that. Eat in moderation, you know what I mean? Good things, small portions. Even if you eat 5 times a day, as long as it's in small portions, it's all good. 90? No, maybe get up to 110. 110, okay, not 90, 110. But yeah, that'll do it, cutting down to one meal a day. So you're basically intermittent fasting is what you're doing. Nelson lost 98 pounds. Good for you, Nelson. Good job. Good job. The most I've lost doing intermittent fasting was 21 pounds. And then after another year, after Thanksgiving and the holiday meal, you know, start again in January and 15 pounds. It always works. It always works if you stick with it. My so you have a dedicated window of what time you'll eat. And my window is from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And as long as you don't eat outside that window, you'll lose weight. Yes, Nelson, don't drink sodas. I've learned that too. No, no sodas. No, no, no. I tell you how I've learned that. Well, common sense, we all know they're loaded with sugars, but just a small can of soda, we keep some on hand here. Don't drink them every day. In fact, I haven't had soda in probably, I don't know when the last time I had soda was, over a couple weeks. But I would notice it when I'm doing the intermittent fasting because you're weighing yourself every day. Yeah, weight comes right off. You're exactly right. I would notice the days that I would have a small soda, just a small one, a little bitty 6 ounce can or something like that. I would see it on the scale the next day. And the reason I know is because the following day I wouldn't have a soda. I would also see that on the scale in the other direction. So I just try to leave soda alone altogether. That will put weight on you quicker than anything. And it's the wrong kind of weight. Soda is no, no, does not work. All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for hanging out with me again today. I'm on the new channel over here. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Um, we'll do it again tomorrow. I only drink about 5 sodas a year. Good for you, Kaylan. You're very smart. I actually gain weight if I don't eat. I've cut down to one soda a day. I know, there you go, Anunnaki disclosure. If you can keep it at one soda a day, and you're not trying to, you know, manage your weight, whatever, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But rinse it through your system with water. Kind of dilute it down and get it out of your system as fast as you can. Because I know soda tastes good. I get it. I totally get it. Um, but I've learned through fasting that it definitely causes your weight to go up and down. Yeah, back to work. Back to work. Love water. I do too. It's my favorite drink. It didn't used to be. I used to have something with flavor, years ago. But now I prefer water. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite drink. Water. And I never thought I would say that, but it's true. It's true. Thank you for Alaska Skies. You gave up soda 25 years. Smart. Very smart. Give up soda. Don't need it. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Look for the live stream today. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Two really good things in there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.